Welcome to this Fireside chat. It's a very special one with an online guest of ours. It's not only an online guest, it's also one of this year's Zero Project Awardees. Welcome, Mr. Mani RAZAVIZADEH, representing Ravan Technologies, and the award is for an spectacular project from our point of view. Otherwise, you wouldn't have received the reward for making Tehran more accessible. Mr. RAZAVIZADEH, let's start with you introducing your great model, maybe in a few sentences, what this is about, and then we'll go into more details.
Hello, thank you. I'm glad to be here today. My name is Mani. I am an urban planner and accessibility consultant. Thank you for inviting me and providing this opportunity for our team. Was a great honor for our project to be selected in the Zero Project this year.
Yeah, we were really glad, and it was, we have quite an extensive selection process, and you made it until the very end. So out of 523 nominations, you made it among the top list of awardees, and the jurors were obviously really impressed by the size, but also of the way the project is planned and implemented. So, Mani, I would suggest give us more details about what is actually done and how it is done, and then we try to explain to our audience more the details of it.
Yes, of course. Our project, the Accessibility Comprehensive Plan for Urban Spaces in Tehran, was started in 2019. We are focusing on identifying, categorizing, and prioritizing accessible routes. And we are assessing sidewalks, accessibility, and developing an action plan to enhance sidewalks and public spaces. We use multiple criteria and technologies because we're struggling some challenge in our city. For example, economic challenge and social challenge and very various organizations that implement the accessibility in Tehran as a developing city. So we divided the main roads into three priorities, and each section is split into three phases. And we decided to implement in three phases in 10 years plan. This is the first platform in Iran. We dedicated the accessible routes with an online surveying application. And we developed this project to an innovative step in Iran. And all evaluation data stored on a cloud server and was analyzed perfectly and incorporated into the GIS map. And then we can then our project output is available through an online map provided by Tehran municipality that people can explore it to see the accessible routes we identifying.
Mani, I think the most spectacular part of your work is the technology and the method you developed, how to map and how to find out the conditions of the sidewalks and where there are issues. So maybe give us a little more background on how you mapped this out, which technologies you used, and how this is presented to the decision makers and also to the users. So focus on the technology you're using and try to explain what you implemented.
Yes, we introduced a web-based application to data collection and analysis. It uses a method called MCDM, multi-criteria decision analysis to determine the best routes. And to visualize this data, we put the data on a GIS-based platform that displays and analyzes information on maps on time. Another aspect of this project is adopting a model to faces complex issues and conflicts involving various organizations and individuals to enhancing the accessibility in Tehran city. This model can be updated with new data and expanded to cover other cities and countries, for example, with similar economic and social condition. The map allows persons with disability or elderly people to view pedestrian routes. They can plan their travel more confidently. And the result data can help to government and municipality in Tehran to plan and implementation the next steps and the next phases to improve accessibility in Tehran.
Mani, one more question towards the data that you're having. What kind of data this actually is? Is it data that is related, let's say, to the condition of the sideway, so that you're scanning and analyzing in which condition this is and if it's accessible or not, where there are obstacles? Do you also use data and analyze the users, what they are doing, the behavior of the users, if they experience obstacles or not? Is it one or the other, or is it both? Is it the condition, is it the behavior, or is it both?
I think it's both, because we use the current situation of obstacles, and we plan the action plan, for example, to planning in next years for implementation of accessibility. We use pictures, image, and checklists for the current situation of roads and sidewalks. And also we use data layers, for example, locations, public station for transportation, schools, hospitals, and other public spaces that is important to users. So all of these data can analyze in a GIS model, and the results is based on these layers.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to ask you one more question with regards to the connectivity of what you're doing. What can other city planners, other municipalities, urban development planners learn from your model, and how much can they directly connect with you or other organizations that work with you?
It is honor to us to can communicate with other cities and municipality. These model, as I mentioned before, because the project use MCDM, multi-criteria decision analysis, can use by every city that faces with challenge like us in a developing country. For example, we have a lack of money and investment in accessibility, and we have struggling with big mistakes for moderation and implementation because we have a lot of economical problems. And cities like us can use this model and prioritizing the roads based on public usage, walkability usage, and based on traffic, for example. Then they can, with this prioritizing model, they can decide to what road, for example, is important to be accessible more this year, and what is important to other year.
Yeah. Rani, one more question. You mentioned this is a 10 years plan, and you're in the middle somehow of this 10 years plan. So where are you in the implementation? What has been achieved and what comes next?
Yes. We assessing all of sidewalks and street with more than 12 meters in Tehran. And based on that, we starting to implement implementation accessibility. Now we approximate we are about 200 kilometers if you count both sides of road. That is 400 kilometer sidewalks that have been made accessible, and we approximately 10% of implementation of the whole program. This is a continuous plan, and we started to implementation in Tehran municipality from 2021, and in 2 years, I think this is a good progress.
Yeah, sounds excellent. We're coming to the closing of this fireside. Is there anything, Mani, you want to mention that we have not touched upon, and which you want to say in your closing statement?
Yes, my email and our website is open to you, and we are happy to collaborating and connect with other presenting in this conference.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're also proud and honored to have you with Via, hopefully also in person at some time. Thank you also for sharing all of this and for your willingness to connect with the Global Zero Project community. Thank you for this time, and it was, I think, a good time and a lot of good insights. So with this, I'm closing this fireside chat. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's my pleasure. Thank you.